What is going on, y'all? Psych Perspectives, GeoFucks, and we're going to be discussing the situation that took place in Chicago. 32-year-old black cisgendered man, black cisgendered heterosexual man, perceived to be arguing in a public establishment with a black cis woman, black cisgendered heterosexual woman, perceived to be black cis het woman. Argument escalates to somebody being shot and killed. And the person that shot and killed the 32-year-old man was a 14-year-old black cisgendered heterosexual teenage boy, 14 years old. And when you look at the video, once again, what ticks me off about all of this is, number one, why are we always recording and trying to post stuff on social media instead of intervening and or calling the appropriate authorities so situations like this don't even have to take place in the first place? Number two, we have no conflict resolution skills in our community, and people need to start talking about that. Because if the first thing you do is scream, holler, shout, verbally assault, all of the curse words, just back and forth, cussing people out, the whole 9 yards, that is not a conflict resolution skill. And then for you to sit up here to do all of this verbal altercation, verbal assault, then to escalate to physically assaulting somebody because you don't like what they're saying. It just really goes to show you, again, we have no conflict resolution skills. And I'm just going to go on and say it. A lot of these cis men are very much cowards, and they're weak and pathetic. Because if you're sitting up here getting that angry because somebody doesn't agree with you, or because they're saying something that you don't like, you're weak. You're weak and you're pathetic. Okay? And then, again, why is it's always, cis men always can find the energy to argue and physically assault women, children, the queers, the gays, the LGBTQ+, but in the same breath, when it comes to other men, they're so-called equal, they never have the same energy for the men. But then they'll sit up here and punch, thunderstruck, right hook a woman in a minute. But when it comes to addressing a man, that same bitch ass nigga is not going to do that. Now, here it is. You got all these other cis men standing around on the phone, recording, pretty much being instigators and just there. And again, remember, these are the same cis men who will then talk about how they're alphas and they're leaders. And it's about manhood and masculinity, and women need to stay in their place, and women need to shut up, and if men would just do this and that. But yet, every time an opportunity comes around for these same cis men who talk about how alpha they are, and it's up to the men, and this is what men do, they never show up. It's kind of the same setup where, kind of like the police, right? Every time there's a murder, a rape, a robbery, nowhere to be found. And you're getting called in after the fact, right? Just like the whole, well, if there was a good guy with a gun, well, there was a good person with a gun. That woman's son, 14 years old, shot and killed that idiot for physically assaulting his mother. And you know what? They dropped the charges. And I am extremely thankful and happy that they dropped the charges. Because again, you're going to learn today. As y'all like to say, you're going to learn today. The days of allowing these idiots, these cis men, to go around physically assaulting everybody, sexually abusing everybody, wreaking havoc in the community, don't take care of their kids, always sitting up here abandoning children, creating the dysfunctional toxic families that they always want to talk about and complain about, though they love to create because they're constantly ejaculating in people left and right, bringing the sperm to the egg. This is a new day and age. Ain't nobody dealing with your ass. You getting shot and killed. It's just that simple. And again, the out cold part is this man allegedly had 2 daughters of his own, which brings me to my next point. Miss me with that argument of, well, you know, if you got daughters, if you had a mother, would you want her to be treated like that, or your daughters to be treated? These cis men don't give a damn. They don't like y'all. They don't like women. That's just it. They're misogynistic. They're sexist. Okay, and a lot of them are raised on toxic masculinity, hence why all they know how to do is yell, fuss, fight, shoot and kill, and assault people. They don't have any conflict resolution skills. And let's be real, a lot of the cis women are in the same predicament. Have no conflict resolution skills. A lot of this is learned behavior. And it didn't matter that he had 2 daughters. He still decided to verbally assault a woman and physically attack a woman. So miss me with that. They don't care about their mothers, daughters. They don't give a damn. You know, at the end of the day, if you're dealing with a misogynistic, ain't about shit, sexist, 9 times out of 10, homophobic, transphobic, ain't about shit cis man, it doesn't matter. Okay? He's a bad apple, regardless. It's unfortunate that it had to go this far because, once again, why are y'all arguing in a public establishment? Why are you trying to physically assault a woman and did physically assault a woman? I mean, when you look at that video, he deserved that shot. He deserved that bullet. That bullet had his name on it and he needed it. And that's what's going to start happening. And then, you know what's also wild is that's the advice that we have to give people now, right? We've been telling women, right? Especially women, you need to get a gun. You need to go and get a CPL, a CCW. You need to practice. You need to protect yourself. Y'all gonna have to get guns to protect yourself. And remember, don't talk to them thugs. Don't talk to them gangsters. Y'all the ones picking Pookie and Ray Ray. That's why y'all got the deadbeat nigga, blah, 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 blah. And yet, when it comes to people having to use a gun to defend themselves, to protect themselves, and that person that ends up getting killed happens to also be a black person. Again, it's gonna be a lot of cis black men getting shot and killed, honey, because it is what it is. Too many of y'all are horrible people. It is what it is. Too many of y'all are abusive, and you've been allowed to be abusive. And it ain't just the black cis man, it's cisgendered men in general, because you look at white cis men, they're tit for tat. You know, that's why I'm always saying it really doesn't matter the race, the sexuality, their education level, their income. If it's a cis man, the likelihood of him being abusive and adding nothing but problems and stress to your life is rather high because of toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is the socialization component here. Because where did he learn that it was okay to fuss, fight, belittle, and then physically attack somebody? And it's sad that a 14-year-old had to get a gun. I don't know where he got the gun from, but had to get a gun. Again, he has access to a gun. Why does a 14-year-old have to do this? Why? What I do hope is that the son, the mother, and really everybody that was there has access to grieving counseling, therapy, counselors, psychologists, psychiatry. They need it. And I don't have any condolences to the family. I don't. Because again, you raised a piece of shit. And that's a whole nother thing that needs to be talked about. Because another aspect of this is black women are creating these pieces of shit with other black men. Okay? They're being raised predominantly in single, female-headed households. So when you look at the niggas today that's physically assaulting everybody and not taking care of their kids and beating on women and beating on children and killing each other, they're coming from single female-headed households the vast majority of the time. So you're just as a part of the problem as the cis man is. Like I said, the black cis het community. You're the one creating these issues for the vast majority of the time, because it's not the queer community that's sitting up, beating on women and killing their kids. It's not the queer community selling drugs and destroying the community. It's not the queer community creating children out of wedlock and having all of these, broken families. That is cisgendered heterosexuals. That is what y'all have specifically been doing for centuries. And it's it just needs to be said, because in the same breath, y'all will sit up and blame the queer community. Oh, you're destroying the family. You're brainwashing the family, the LGBT agenda. That was a black man that destroyed this situation. That was a black man attacking a black woman at a public establishment. Ain't no rainbow flag there. And again, y'all gonna have to start addressing your own shit and stop trying to project your problems off on everybody else, and stop trying to use the LGBTQ plus community as a scapegoat for shit that you're doing. Okay? And once again, welcome to the black community. Just dysfunctional and toxic as hell. And I already know people are gonna throw, well, that's not all of us. All cis men, all cis women, all cis het. No, it's not. But it's an overwhelmingly large population that participates in this type of behavior. And I'm not going to sit up here and allow you to gaslight what the hell I'm seeing. You can deny reality. I'm not. Bye-bye.